This is wonderful. So happy to be here. There it is. The tip of it is hiding in the clouds right now. In a world that constantly bombards us with notifications, media, and distractions, it's crucial for me to carve out moments of disconnection. These small recesses allow me to go into the natural world and connect with the profound simplicity of it. I found myself drawn back to a mountain that I had encountered before. I failed to summit this mountain because of very unfavorable weather conditions. This time, I was committed to the journey, and I was unwavering, regardless of the length or the challenges that it might impose. The initial ascent was demanding, just as I had expected. Climbing 5 challenging miles up a mountain with a 25-pound pack on my back, it's no small feat. Smells so good here. I can smell the pine trees. This is wonderful. So happy to be here. The sun should be setting in like the next 40 minutes, 45 minutes. So I'm hoping to get to Emerald Lake or as close as I can. I still have to climb up and over that pass right there. I don't really want to be setting my tent up in the dark, so we'll just see how far I can get. My intention was to immerse myself in the natural world, free from incessant distractions and mindless media consumption that I had noticed overtaking my daily life. I think the sun officially set like 5 minutes ago, and I still have a bit of climbing to do. It is starting to get windy, it is starting to get cold, so I'm happy I brought tons of layers. As dusk waned into the darkness, I established my base camp just below Emerald Lake. With a hint of warmth from my stove, I prepared dinner and sipped on hot chocolate. That night, sleep was elusive. The temperatures dipped down to pretty chilling depths, and I had a sporadic rain tapping on my tent. It's about 5:30, maybe a little after, and I was planning on doing the sunrise hike to the summit, but as you can hear, it's raining. I am staying cozy, wrapped in my sleeping bag. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for hopefully the rain to stop. I'm not in any rush or anything to get anywhere quickly, so perfectly happy, curled up in my sleeping bag, staying warm. I just woke up from a food dream, and I was physically drooling. I guess it's time to get up and going. It's still raining. The next morning, I emerged from my cozy sleeping bag and brewed a steaming cup of coffee. Its fragrance filled the crisp mountain air. I watched the clouds gather at the top of the mountain and drank my coffee, having a nice, slow morning. It's 7:45 and I'm just leaving camp. Much later than I anticipated, but not long after I reconnected with the trail, I found a small herd of mountain goats. That's amazing. amazing. I had never experienced mountain goats this close up before. Anyways, like I was saying, it's almost 8 o'clock, it's 7:45. I'm just leaving camp later than I anticipated, but at this point I'm fine with it. Along with the mountain goats, I was in company with fellow backpackers and numerous day hikers. As I ventured on, my day-to-day world faded away, and I became immensely present. The ideals of simplicity and self-discovery swirled around in my mind with each and every step. To my surprise, flowers covered much of this mountain, which really added to its immense beauty. I'm here at Emerald Lake. This is the farthest that I've ever made it on this mountain. And today I'm going to summit. The terrain was rugged, forcing me to adapt to its challenges and allowing me to find beauty in the face of difficulty. And this is when I wish I would have brought my trekking poles. This is a little bit sketchy. Just gotta take it slow. As I continued to ascend, the path led me into an ethereal embrace of the clouds. Visibility was very low, and the trail was either very rocky or snowy. I couldn't help but smile. Experiencing snow on Labor Day weekend was quite a treat. The last mile was tough. It was steep and the terrain was rugged. Hey. How's it going? I'm on my way right now. No view at all. I arrived at the saddle. This was the point where the grueling ascent converged with the unyielding wind. The top of this mountain was covered in a misty veil of clouds. This is where I joined a procession of fellow hikers. We were all determined to reach the top of this iconic peak. Despite this crowded trail, it felt like we were all bound together. We had a shared essence within our journey. With visibility limited in any direction, this trail seemed to stretch on forever. But eventually, I reached the summit. Upon reaching the summit, I found myself surrounded by a large group of people, many of which were huddled inside the shelter, seeking sanctuary from the abrasive wind. There was a shared sense of celebration, as all of us had endured the elements to get to this summit. With just a brief moment to soak up this profound experience, I decided to start heading back down. I'm back on the east side of the mountain, and there's no wind, and it's so much better. Holy cow. That west side was brutal. Lots of wind, very cold, and too many people huddled in the shelter to stay very long, so I left pretty quick. Weird thing about this hike is I've had cell phone service most of the time, which is weird when you're on a mountain. It's still nice to get phone calls from my husband, especially this morning and last night as I was camping by myself. So those have been very helpful phone calls to boost morale and keep me going, keep him updated so he knows that I'm safe. I am heading back to camp right now. I'm maybe a mile and a half away, and I'm planning on cooking some lunch and warming up in my tent, and then when I'm ready, whenever that may be, I'm going to hike back down to the car. That hike was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, I'm not going to lie. I think it was the cold, the wind, the altitude, but yeah, that was a little tougher than I thought. There are so many people on the trail today, and I thought that was going to bother me, but it's kind of nice to have other people here. Feels like a group effort. As I descended, the mountain continued to be a gentle but powerful teacher. Feels like a totally different world down here. I'm almost back down to Emerald Lake, and it's like warmer, there's no wind, there's flowers. Totally different world. There are transformative forces in nature, and on this mountain, they were palpable. This short trip reminded me the significance of simplicity and how little I really need to survive and even thrive in my life. It reminded me the value of being truly present in the moment and the everlasting bond between nature and myself, no matter how distant I may feel from it sometimes. Just made it back to my tent, and now I'm going to cook some lunch. The allure of spending another day among the towering pines and watching the clouds drift by was undeniably tempting. Alright, I just finished packing up camp, and it went a lot faster than I thought it was going to go, so that's great. And I'm off to my next adventure. Getting down the mountain. I know that my experiences out in nature enrich my day-to-day life and provide me with a deeper insight and understanding of life itself and the way that I would like to live it. After all, a single night and a single day is just that, one night and one day. In the grand tapestry of nature, one night and one day are but fleeting moments. Retreating into the mountains or to the wilderness has always been a really beautiful way for me to reconnect with myself, but I also understand that I must weave this into my day-to-day life.